Since childhood, I always felt a connection to God, and I always prayed. I remember from young age I was praying to God. And also I had developed an interest in different phenomena or things that cannot be explained. Like I found that very interesting. And by the age of around 13, I had that image in my mind. Like I would see myself being older and walking on a meadow and feeling that peace from within, like very strong peace. And there were people around, and I would feel connected to everyone and everything at the same time, like that feeling of being arrived. So I had that image in my mind, and I was wanting to one day, I want to be in that state. So when I grew older, I developed further interest in spiritual topics, for example, in gems and in pendulum or some healing symbols. With my friend together, we were like discovering what is available, and we also came across a channeling course. So we were applying for this course, and basically the aim of that course was to connect to the divinity or to higher self, to receive knowledge from the spiritual dimension about worldly or spiritual matters. So one time, I remember very clearly, we were all sitting in a circle, and our teacher was saying, okay, now you close your eyes, and now you connect to the divine, and you push your ego aside. And I was like glancing how the others are doing, because I remember I felt it's impossible. How should I push my ego aside? And another time also I went with my friend to Germany to another course. It was also a channeling course. And when we arrived, the lady there, she told us, oh, you and your friend and that little girl, there was a girl, you were triplets in your last life. And then she further explained to my friend that she had drowned in the sea one time. That's why she's afraid of deep sea. So even though it was kind of interesting and mysterious, I also remember thinking, but how this is going to help us? Like what we will do with this information? So that is what I realized often when I came home from different courses or meditation sessions. I had that feeling I didn't learn anything practical, like nothing I can do at home. And in my day-to-day life, I was still struggling. So I had like different problems in my life, like toxic relationships and a people-pleasing attitude. I was also more insecure by type. So all these problems didn't go away. I didn't know how to solve it. So one day when I was at work, I got a very clear and strong thought, I have to go to India. It was so strong, I went home and straight booked my ticket to India for 6 months. It didn't feel optional, it felt like I will get answers, I will get guidance, and I never had a doubt about it. So after a few months I went to India, and I had an opportunity to stay in the SRC, in the Spiritual Research Center in the ashram in India. And what I realized from day one, it was very practical, whatever I was taught. So for example, they gave me a piece of paper and there was a chant written on it, a divine name. And they said, you go to the meditation room and you repeat this name. And so did I. Or how I can face myself, how can I work on myself, learn about myself. I was also studying the website at that time and doing some translation into German. So through that, I learned a lot also. So there were like immediate changes I could see and long-term changes that I could see. So for example, the short-term changes after chanting or repeating a divine name, I would feel very calm and peaceful. Like I would feel how my mind became very calm. Also, whatever task I would do afterwards, I could see myself being very focused, concentrated. I was more in the present moment and quite efficient, actually. Also, I started to experience some joy that came from within, like some happiness or joy without any reason. And it was really, really joyful to be there and to learn all those different steps. So after I returned, after 6 months, I returned back to Austria. My whole life within weeks fell into place. Like everything, just all the problems I had before, they just disappeared. So my toxic relationships ended. I met my now husband, who is also a seeker. I could make the education I had wished for. And also that feeling I had before, I'm wasting my time, it never came back. I felt I know my purpose of life now and I know what I can do practically. So what I realized is spirituality is nothing mysterious. It's actually very grounded. Like you work on your anger, you face your insecurity, you repeat the divine name to gain that divine consciousness, that positive energy. It's very on the ground, I would say, like very practical. And that made me realize that spirituality has its laws and it will happen as per the laws. Everything can be explained actually. So over the years, also my insecurity and inferiority complex decreased to a big extent, and I gained confidence and also more faith and more connection to God. So today I feel I can achieve this state that I had in my mind when I was 13 years old. I can achieve having that peace, that connection with everything around me. Also one time I remember I had an opportunity to meet His Holiness Dr. Jayant Attavale, who is the source of inspiration of SSRF. So I was in his room and he shared with me, he said, enjoy your spiritual journey. And even though at that time I couldn't fully understand what he means, I started realizing now what he means, because it's truly blissful to change. It's a beautiful journey to overcome insecurities, to get better, to learn. There's so much to learn about ourselves, about life. And today I only wish to continue my spiritual practice, to serve God, to serve others also, to start their spiritual journey or to continue their journey and to experience more divinity in their life and grow spiritually.